Hey, welcome back to Confrontation Station. I'm Massey. This is Craig. We look at confrontations, high pressure situations, how people react, the strategies they employ, fight or flight, all that kind of stuff. Craig, I've got some good ones for you this week that I think you're going to like. So this is a 911 call. It's a short video, but I've split it into 5 sections. First off, we're going to hear the phone call on the guy's way. So this is obviously something that happened earlier, but this is on the police officer's way to the scene.
Anchor is the Columbus Police is
911, what's the address of your emergency?
It's County of the Transfer 38.
North Brinker Avenue, North Brinker Avenue. I was just talking. Don't talk over me.
County.
Do not talk over me.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, what's going on there at 38?
Thank you for talking over me. The fuck?
Ma'am, our policy is for the other agency that you were talking to announce the call. So what's going
Okay,
on
but
at
I
318
am
North
talking.
Brinker?
I am talking, though. That means do not talk over me. I am the one with the emergency. I am the one who is about to fucking pay
She's
you guys
talking.
through my taxes, through my call. Right? Yes
Ma'am,
or no?
can you tell me
Yes
what's going
or
on
no?
at 38? Ma'am,
You
if you're
tell
going
me
to
yes or
continue
no.
to yell, I'm
Tell
going
me
to
yes or
disconnect the
no.
call. Have a good
Tell
day.
me.
Bye-bye.
She's got into a debate, like an argument, during the 911 call.
Oh my
How's that
God.
possible? She's gone from, I need help, to, I'm the one paying your wages. Yes or no? Yes or no? She literally disconnects the call. Like, let's just listen again, and let's just go through the various stages of how this call, because she starts off pretty calm. Now, I believe in the house, there's a young lady who's calling, there's the mother, and then there's the brother. The 2 kids are in their early 20s, late teens, early 20s, and the mom looks like she's in her 40s. So I think the first person you hear is the mom, but then you hear the younger girl.
Anchor is the Columbus Police is
911, what's the address of your emergency?
It's County of the Transfer 38.
North Brinker Avenue, North Brinker Avenue. I was just talking. Don't talk over me.
County.
Do not talk over me.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, what's
Oh,
going
you're
on there at
welcome.
38 Brinker?
Thank you for talking over me. The fuck?
Ma'am, our policy is for the other agency that you were talking to announce the call. So what's going
Okay,
on
but
at
I
318
am
North
talking.
Brinker?
I am talking, though. That means do not talk over me. I am the one with the emergency. I am the one who is about to fucking pay you guys through my taxes, through my call. Right? Yes
Ma'am,
or no?
can you tell me
Yes
what's going
or
on
no?
at 38? Ma'am,
You
if you're
tell
going
me
to
yes or
continue
no.
to yell, I'm
Tell
going
me
to
yes or
disconnect
no.
the call. Have a good
Tell
day.
me.
Bye-bye.
Wow.
I have never heard that level of aggression from
That's the
anybody, like,
shortest
off the bat.
fuse I've seen on a call like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it obviously makes you think that, I mean, she's delaying her own emergency. Like, it makes you, I mean, from the operator's point of view, they're like, it's not really an emergency. If it
Yeah,
was an
exactly.
emergency, then she'd had no time to be doing this to me. And it also
Exactly.
gives you the impression that whatever the emergency is, she's probably the cause of whatever this is. So,
Yeah. Dead on.
because
yeah.
from the operator's point of view, are you allowed to do that in the States? Like, if you're on the receiving of a 911 call and you're just like, have a nice day, goodbye, and put the phone down on the person who's calling you. That's what happened. Is she didn't put the phone down. She got hung up on.
Yeah, she said, if you keep yelling at me, I'm going to terminate the call.
Ma'am,
You
if you're
tell
going
me
to
yes or
continue
no.
to yell, I'm
Tell
going
me
to
yes or
disconnect the
no.
call.
Meanwhile, the girl's going, yes or no?
Right? Yes
Ma'am,
or no?
can you tell me
Yes
what's going
or
on
no?
at 3?
Like, screaming yes or no at her.
Ma'am,
You
if you're
tell
going
me
to
yes or
continue
no.
to yell, I'm
Tell
going
me
to
yes or
disconnect the
no.
call.
I pay your wages, don't I? Yes or no? Yeah, but I have to. Yes or no? And then she's like,
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
yes or no? I'm going to terminate the call. I think you're right. She realized quickly, if someone's getting into this level of debate and argument, then that's not an emergency. They'll have dealt with hundreds of people, thousands of people, and they can just sniff it immediately. Like when I used to work in a bar, like after a month of dealing with people night in, night out, you can just clock people on the way and you go, oh, this person's going to be trouble. That person's going to be trouble. Those people are going to be fine. That person's going to be too drunk. This person's going to get into an argument. You just see the same type of behavior and you know who's going to be some kind of problem. It must be even more obvious when you're just using audio on the phone. You're like, oh, this person is a nightmare. But just listen to the stages she goes through. I think the mother is on the phone initially, or she is. She goes, 911, what's your emergency? She goes, give me your address. She gives the address and goes, thank you. And then the woman goes, yeah, thanks for interrupting me. And then they get into a back and forth about being interrupted.
There seems to be some other agency on the call, though, from what I was kind of gathering from the subtitles, it was like she was dealing with someone else, and then they transferred the call to 911, and it was that handover process. Because she tries to explain it's the policy to they are announcing the call to us, and that, I mean, half a second of her not being acknowledged was enough to completely trigger this. Wow, that's
Acknowledge
amazing.
me. Right, let's listen to it one more time and then we're going to step 2.
North Brinker Avenue. North Brinker Avenue. I was just talking. Don't talk over
Thanks,
me.
County.
Do not talk over me.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, what's
Oh,
going
you're
on there at
welcome.
318
No, thank you for talking over me. The fuck?
Ma'am, our policy is for the other agency that you were talking to announce the call. So what's going
Okay,
on
but
at
I
318
am
North
talking.
Brinker?
I am talking, though. That means do not talk over me. I am the one with the emergency. I am the one who is about to fucking pay you guys through my taxes, through my call. Right? Yes
Ma'am,
or no?
can you tell me
Yes
what's going
or
on
no?
at 318? Ma'am,
You
if you're
tell
going
me
to
yes or
continue
no.
to yell, I'm
Tell
going
me
to
yes or
disconnect the
no.
call. Have a good
Tell
day.
me.
Bye-bye.
She's not used to anyone, or in that state, she doesn't want anyone doing anything but complying with her. That type of person, you'd never want to be a cop. Can you imagine that person with power? Tell me yes or no, comply, guns drawn. So this is what this cop is walking into. So here you see the first contact, and your first contact is with the mother. She comes out of the house first and starts to explain what's going on, but you'll see the daughter.
I'm not. Hello.
Hi.
Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. What's going on?
A domestic dispute.
Okay.
And it's over.
Everybody's okay?
Everybody's okay.
Are you the one who called?
No. My daughter did.
On you?
No.
She looks
on my son.
exhausted.
All right, well, I need to talk to him. I need to see him.
It is. You can see him. It's fine. It's 193.
193.
She looks exhausted. Bless her. She looks knackered.
I'll have him come out if you don't mind.
So you notice the door's been locked. This woman's come up to a house, and what's happened here for those listening? He's turned up at the house, and a very tired mother has come out. She looks so exhausted, and as she's leaving the house, you hear us arguing, like she's like, "I'm not," or something to the kid. And then as she goes up to open the door, she's been locked out by whoever's on the other side. So now she's at her own front door, trying to unlock the door with the cop behind her, and the daughter opens it, and here we go.
Is there any weapons involved?
Knocking on her own door.
No. We don't. I have one in the safe. It's locked up.
It's interesting that she's not surprised that the door's been locked.
You
What's
cannot
that?
do that.
It's interesting that she doesn't even seem that surprised that someone's locked the door on her. It's like this isn't
No,
the
it's
first
just
time it's happened. I mean,
Standard operating procedure.
yeah, it'd be kind of like, oh, the door's locked. Like you'd acknowledge it, but she just resigned to just like, oh yeah, locked me out again.
Lock the door. I'll have to get into this thing of knocking and go through. Yeah. It seems very dysfunctional. So there's a girl is now at the door, and she's about to let her mum in.
I'm here.
You have to unlock the door.
I'm here. Open the door, please.
He's
That's fine.
not.
I'm not coming in.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Keep the door open.
No, I'll shut the door.
No, this is not an option. I'm going to stay right here, as I'll respect that.
My mom said she'll be right back. That means you work for us, sir. I called you.
Appreciate that.
Okay, so can you
No.
put your foot... You are violating my privacy. I need to shut the door.
Do you understand I'm here because you called?
I called...
So you made me your business, okay?
Yeah,
And all
well,
I
then they
wanna
hung
do-
up on me, so...
Listen, that wasn't me. Don't take that out on me. I'm only here to help, to understand what happened. And then I'm going to walk away if everybody's okay.
So first contact has been made. He's trying to get into the door, and he doesn't even want to go inside. He's like, we've got to just keep the door open because he doesn't know what's going on in there. Someone's called 911, and she's immediately on this. She's not as angry as on the phone, so she's clearly calmed down.
Talk to me like that, I'll break your friggin' neck, all right? Come on, calm down.
But now she's on this, you work for me.
I am the one who is about to fucking pay you guys through my taxes, through my call. Right?
She keeps saying you work for us, which I don't know. I know people say that about public servants, but they really don't. You don't really understand the relationship. If you think a cop works for you, can you imagine robbing a bank and then the cop comes in and you're like, you work for me? It just doesn't really work that way. Cops are there to keep the peace, and if you're disturbing the peace, then they're there to enforce that on you. You can't just pull the you work for me card. That just doesn't work.
You work for me. Open the vault.
Exactly. So here we go. The son comes out now to explain his side of it.
It's easy. I'm
I
not
would
trying
like to shut the door.
I don't want you to do that. I want to make
You
sure I
don't
talk
have
to
a
you.
warrant to come in my house.
I'm not coming in.
Emily, stop arguing.
You guys want to talk to me, please?
Stop arguing.
About what?
Emily,
Have a good afternoon.
What's going on?
please.
Would you want to step outside and talk to me?
Yeah, you can step outside so I can shut the door finally because he wants to violate my fucking privacy.
Emily,
No,
stop
it's so fucking wrong, dude.
Oh my God. How disagreeable could you get?
Down.
Dude, like,
She was being.
period.
I know she called the cops because
This kid looks so tired.
I threw away her bacon and I told her to leave. And then I got really upset. I picked up the tote, I dropped the tote, and then I went into my room. And yeah, she went outside and called the police.
Is this normal?
Unfortunately, it is.
I'm not passing judgment. Please don't misunderstand any of this.
I'm not.
Is this what you're dealing with?
Yes.
Sometimes it's easier than other times,
Yes.
and right now it just kind of crossed the line.
Yep.
Did anybody put hands on anybody?
No.
Okay.
It's just, it gets very. We all have different views on life, and we all want to live differently, and it's not happening.
I respect all that.
And I can't kick them out. They're my kids,
You can kick them out.
and we're trying to all deal with this.
She doesn't say I can't kick her out. She says I can't kick them out. And this is like, what have I got to do with this? I can be reasonable. He's right there as well.
He seems, unless these are like criminal master. Look, I'm sure they're not. Everyone has different modes that they go through, and who knows what went on in there. Maybe they wound up forever and they play the innocent when.
Yeah.
But she does seem to be a nightmare. So anyway, they're outside, just explain. It just shows how tired they are. She's got what she wants. She's got them out. And they're not coming in. That was the thing that she cared about, but she's not happy with that. They're outside talking, and she's not involved. She needs to be involved. So she gets involved.
You know, I would like to say something. I like how I call you guys in a real emergency. This was a real emergency 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But I like how I call you guys in a real emergency 7 years ago when my life was literally threatened and I'm like literally about to die. And you guys take an hour and a half to show up. I like how I call and I scream at you guys and then you show up like that. Like snap of the fingers.
Can you please go in?
194.
I was here quick, and you're telling me to get lost. I mean, it can't be both ways. We're doing the best we can. I only came here to help, and you're giving me this. What can I do
Good
for
job
you?
on 10 precinct. Since we have to go with
I just wanted to
CFD,
de-escalate
875
the
Woodwood
situation.
number 3.
She did not want to de-escalate the situation. All she wants to do is escalate. That is like what a tell. Like there, I just wanted to de-escalate the situation. It was de-escalated outside, and you came out angry and start snapping your fingers, and then she did like a bomb drop thing.
Can you please go in?
You know, as if she'd made some like mic drop, as if like she'd made some amazing point.
I was fixing breakfast and my brother throws all of my food away in the trash and starts screaming at me. So I just wanted to de-escalate the situation. It's de-escalated now. We're coming. Bye.
Anyway, here's the end of it.
Huh?
Okay. So
what?
you're in a better place now,
You
right?
walk away?
You're in a better place now. My question would be, were you treating your brother the way you're treating us? Because that might have something to do with the problem.
Y'all need to leave now.
Well, guess who's in charge?
She could not believe that he said that, because there's another cop behind him to the left, and I think that maybe he said, we need to walk away, or you need to walk away. And she was like, what? She was like, just give me a reason. You work for me. And then he goes, maybe the way you're talking to us is part of the problem. And the look on her face, she looks at her mum like, I can't believe what he just said to me. He works for me.
Mom, can you tell them to leave, please?
Good luck.
Thank you.
There's counseling available. It exists in the world.
And I'm in it. Thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Okay, you don't have to be rude.
All right.
How old is this child?
She's 22.
Wow.
How old is this child? She's 22. Wow. Like, my God. That
He
seems
refers
so
to it as
difficult to...
This child.
This child. How old is this
She's
child?
like an adult woman.
She's not, though, is she? I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
that's real childish behavior. Look,
Yeah.
I've been as difficult as that with people, maybe, but never with like a cop. But then again, I've never thought of cops as working for me, so maybe I would. Just thinking like teenage years, I went through like a load of like everybody does, but like 20s,
Yeah.
no, like
I mean,
early teens maybe.
I feel sorry for everyone involved in this. I really feel sorry for mum. Her mum looks, like you say, absolutely exhausted. The brother, it's hard to tell because the way that, I mean, the mother did say, I can't kick them out. So maybe he does antagonize her.
I'm sure he does.
But I feel sorry for her as well because I don't think this is like, this looks like a compulsive behavior. In that it's not like I'm going to choose to be mean. I think she is compelled to be this way. The triggering on the phone.
Yes
Ma'am,
or no?
can you tell me
Yes
what's going
or
on
no?
at 3 Ma'am,
You
if you're
tell
going
me
to
yes or
continue
no.
to yell, I'm
Tell
going
me
to
yes or
disconnect the call.
And that can't be good for her either, because she must get into this situation all the time, like in conflict with like the people who are closest to her, who have the most tolerance for her.
Yeah.
And she's still having like horrible relationships with them. It looks compulsive. I mean, it looks like she's going to have a very bad life until the counseling that she's in, or she gets the help that she needs.
It's interesting you say that because I think that's probably right. Compulsive is, she can't help it, like you said. And I actually identify quite a lot with it. I was really, really argumentative when I was younger, like especially going through puberty and teenage years. And I remember being like, just getting into arguments with people over like anything. You're probably thinking you haven't changed, but like it's calmed down so much now. But like when I'd argue about absolutely anything with anybody. And it is just all from like mad stuff that happens in your childhood, dealing with people. Now the dad isn't there. So, I'm not going to armchair analysis these people. I've got no idea, but just based on my own situation, it's somebody in your life which has driven you nuts in some way. And then you've got this, as you're going through formative years, you build this thing up and then you go out and test the world with it. Luckily, she hasn't crossed some kind of line, because you can see that type of personality, and we've seen it many times before. They end up getting like, they're the type of people that resist arrest and start fighting police actively, fighting police when they're trying to arrest them. And they're like, stop resisting. And all you need to do is just, you just don't get in that situation. And it's impossible for them to get out of it until they really hit that brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
And that brick wall is often like violent arrest of some kind. So she's probably going to hopefully she doesn't run into something like that. But I think you're right. It's like compulsive behavior. She cannot stop it. It's some kind of mad defense mechanism based on something that's happened. I'd say it's probably something to do with the dad not being there, whether he did it or him not being there.
She mentioned it could be trauma to do with that event that she mentioned 7 years ago, because it's weird that was something that popped into her mind about the police coming.
When she says, she said, I called you 20. Oh yeah, because she goes, I called you 10 minutes ago. Let's listen to that again. Hang on, because this is when she comes out.
I would like to say something.
You notice that the kid's going back up, and she couldn't have known that he was going up. She's not opening the door for him there. It's a coincidence that she opens the door as he's going up. She's coming out to like, I'm not involved in this. I'm not getting what I need emotionally. So she comes out to re-engage.
I would like to say something. I like how I call you guys in a real emergency. This was a real emergency 10 minutes ago. Yeah. But I like how I call you guys in a real emergency 7 years ago.
7 years ago, yeah. I thought that was her being hyperbolic and going, I called you 1,000 years ago, but you think it's like literally something happened 7 years ago.
Yeah, because she's comparing the two, isn't she? She's like, she's annoyed, even though they've responded in time, and she doesn't want to diminish that. No, it wasn't real emergency 10 minutes ago, so you should have turned up, but you did turn up. But 7 years ago, when it was a real emergency, I imagine they didn't respond in time and something happened to her. That's my guess.
Do you think we're getting into behavior panel territory, but do you think that when she's saying that,
well, if you can zoom in on her eyes to see if it's upward inflection,
Well, as she answers this, our anger expressions and their micro expressions we're seeing when she says,
I'm going to disconnect the call.
sorry, I just want to get this straight. Do you think when she's saying 7 years ago, she's literally in her own mind consciously referring to 7 years ago? Or do you think it's a slip up and she's being hyperbolic, but the slip up is actually pointing towards something 7 years ago? And that's
No,
why
no,
she's
I
at
think
7
I
years.
think she's actually referring to a real event where she called the police 7 years ago and they didn't respond in time and something bad happened.
She expects him to know about that.
I think she's just venting.
When my life was literally threatened and I'm like literally about to die, and you guys take an hour and a half to show up. I like how I call and I scream at you guys, and then you show up like that, like snap of the finger.
Oh, so okay, I thought that was her being hyperbolic about, because a minute later she goes, he threw my eggs and yelled at me. I'm like, that doesn't mean you're about to die. So something really bad happened 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's what this trauma is that we're feeling here. That's her probably, isn't it? Because
Maybe,
look how angry she is. Well,
it's weird that springs to mind very quickly. Like it's a point of grievance.
Yeah. Shit, I feel bad for her. I feel bad for everyone in this situation. You're right. Yeah. At first, I was like, "Oh, look at this bitch." That's I hate people like this. But then when I start thinking about it, I go, "Oh, actually, I recognize a bunch of myself in this." And then you pointing that out, I'm like, "Oh God, poor girl."
I shouldn't have brought this to the table today.
Shouldn't have brought this to the table. This isn't that's what this show's about. It's about working out why people choose and do the things that they do. I mean, if we found out that 7 years, imagine they like roll the tape. The cops, they see this and they go, "Oh, we've got the tape from 7 years ago." And 7 years ago, it's like, my brother threw eggs at me. My life was in danger. Who knows? She could just be a drama queen forever. But people are shaped by their experiences, aren't they? So probably something really hardcore happened. They all look knackered, all look exhausted.
Yeah.
Sick. All right. Well, that's mine that I brought to the table. Hopefully we don't hear from this chick again. I hope that we don't see a arrest video in like a year or two and like a resisting arrest and all that kind of stuff. I hope she sorts that stuff out.
Yeah, because you're right. If she doesn't, I think it's an inevitability. She's going to end up with a record and in jail, and she's going to end up with a lot of problems unless someone can get her some help.
The thing is, though, the thing that I noticed is that she doesn't like the physical boundary being crossed, but she didn't get really like aggressive physically. She's only aggressive verbally. So I don't think she'll probably get herself into that level of trouble. When I was going through something kind of similar, I was like obnoxious, and I wasn't like this, but I was annoying. But it was never get to anything like physical. So the fact that it's like, and eventually that stuff through debating with people and arguing with people eventually turned into something else, which is quite positive. But for her, I hope that the same thing happens. I don't think she'll get into something physical unless alcohol's involved. Who knows? Like a person like this angry with some alcohol, that can turn pretty bad. So sick. If anyone who's watching this has any more information on this story or any further body cam footage or any footage from 7 years ago, we'd be really interested in covering it on the show.
There's counseling available. It exists in the world.
And I'm in it. Thanks. Bye.
I've got two things today, right? First, I've got a single video that I've cut up, which is a follow-on from what we discussed last week on that episode of Joe Rogan. So as I mentioned before, like I say, I think about this every once in a while, or I see a debate and it reminds me of this episode from 12 years ago. So I watch it on average every 3 or 4 years. And last week we kind of focused on the kind of the,
one of my
the
favorites.
beginning. It is one of my favorites. I think about it an unreasonable amount for what it is, which is a weird debate on a podcast 12 years ago.
It's great. I do really like it.
So after we did the episode and I kind of cut up segments of Joe Rogan being angry and having a grievance with something.
Well, I think he wants it to be under his name. Is that what it is?
No, he's just like, people say that they can't search Bone Zone and it comes up on iTunes. And so I was like, well, let me show you how to do it.
And kind of bringing it up, but he has control of that podcast and he's very good with words. And before you know it, Brian, who's on the receiving end of this, he's kind of like the victim in that first part last week, kind of is flabbergasted. He is defending himself all the time.
Yeah. I mean, because a lot of people don't know that, I'm on these podcasts because I'm fucking producing them.
He's mixing up his words. And before you know it, Brian is so confused. He doesn't even know what he's being attacked for.
I can't even believe that you don't see another side of this. I can't believe that you don't see a
I see
little
what
bit
you're
of a side of
saying,
this.
but it's kind of funny that I've been doing it since 2007, and now you're just making it.
All I've said ever is
who does this? Who does that gets to choose who's on it? Because you said some you
How
might
about
think
me? How about I'll choose?
Yeah, but why?
How about I'll choose?
Why are you
Why shouldn't I?
considered death squad?
And they take a pause, and this video is they've had a break since that, had time to calm down. And Joe Rogan is like a completely different person in the second half. This is the Joe Rogan at his best, where the anger's gone, he's reasonable, he senses Brian is triggered, and he's trying to come up with solutions. He's being like, this is like the good version of Joe Rogan. I just want to play it, and then I've got some thoughts about how
Before
it
you
ends.
play it, I'm just going to quickly give people a recap on what the argument is about, because if you haven't seen our last episode, you really should go and listen to that one first to get the background, although you're going to get a decent amount out of this. They're arguing, this is early podcasting days for Joe Rogan. Brian Redban is the person who's going to be arguing with Joe, and Ari Shaffir is another comic who's in the room. They're arguing over Brian's use of a term, Death Squad, which is a name that was used to describe Joe's group of friends, but now Brian used it to describe an entire podcast network where he's setting up other comics. Joe was the first one, to be fair, with podcasts, and he's calling it Death Squad. And they're arguing, well, Death Squad means this and all this kind of stuff. So it's a kind of complex argument with a lot of weird motivations going on in there. But you should really listen to the last episode to get the
actually,
background.
that's a good point. I do need to add a bit more context to that, because as I was saying just then, it kind of, that was what Joe Rogan was really angry about. And that came up in a certain way, but it's moved on since then. They ended where Brian is now, he's now defending an argument with another friend that they've got about whether or not he's got this show, he invites his friend comics to it, but he's not paying them for it because
a comedy
he's not
show,
getting
like
paid
a
that
live
much.
stand-up comedy show.
So Brian's seeing it as like, it's just a cool room I've got access to, but now word's going out that he doesn't pay comics. And Brian is very defensive about this. It's a horrible accusation, and he's trying to explain. And Joe Rogan has got sympathy for this. And Joe Rogan is, this clip is just about the behavior change between last week and how cool Joe Rogan is now. He's trying to help. So it's just a montage. So it's a bit choppy, but it's the attitude change between this week and last week that I want you to pay attention to.
I get attacked a lot nowadays.
I know you do. We
Yeah,
talked
we're not
about
attacking
that
you, though.
earlier, but we're not attacking you. And one of the things that I think that's real important that I brought up earlier is be generous to a point where it's indefensible.
You should be
Listen,
happy to be
bro,
in this
what
room.
you're doing is,
You know what I mean?
listen,
I'm
this is what
working.
you're doing. You set up a beautiful thing, okay? That ain't bad. There's nothing wrong with it. And, when I ask you about how many shows you want, just to sort of illuminate people as to what you're doing. I completely understand
On
that.
the worst
but-
night ever.
But to comedians, they're also doing a job too. The reason why it has somewhat of an impact is because it is an arguable position. I think you took on a job that you didn't quite know how much time it was going to take.
I did just go on stage.
Yeah,
and
it takes
it's
a lot of effort.
And let them go on stage when they
Just
want
to call there's a path.
you.
There's a path with least resistance out there. I know.
I'm just going to pause at this point. So it's just a montage of, in contrast to last week, how reasonable Joe Rogan is now. He's calmed down.
All right, you two, break it up, eh? What's going on here, eh?
He's got that stuff off his chest about the Death Squad name, and the conversation's moved on to something else that Brian's defending and defensive about. And Joe Rogan's like, that's an understandable position. Maybe you should see it like this. Very this is the sort of person that you'd want when you're wound up about something. The trouble is that Brian has been so poked up to this point for the last 30 minutes. He's too hot. So the dynamics are completely shifted. If you would have caught this podcast from just the second part, you'd walk away with the impression that Brian Redban is just this weird, unreasonable, not listening, kind of defensive person. And Joe Rogan and Ari, like the good friends who are trying to help him out. And you see, it's starting to bubble over. So they're both completely calm now, but Brian is boiling over.
With least resistance out there, I know it.
It's called not bringing it up on a podcast and getting into it so everyone knows about this. And thanks a lot, guys.
What are you talking about?
Ryan, what are you talking about, man?
You make it impossible to talk to you about anything when you react this way.
You turn this into some crazy situation that it's not.
Joe turned it into that.
I think you got a good point in that. I think it is a lot more responsibility and a little extra thing that you have to chew on every week.
You don't want to become one of those guys that doesn't pay people.
No, I don't even feel like talking about it.
I
think this
know
is
you
boring,
don't. That's why it's hard to bring
shit.
up. That's why saying I'd like to get paid. It's a hard thing to bring up.
But Brian,
it
it
is on a
podcast.
podcast.
It isn't boring.
It's to me, podcasts should be entertaining, not like, hey, let's bust open Brian and fucking see
Brian,
why he's
no
thinking
one's
about
trying-
financial shit.
No one's trying to bust you open.
Open on a podcast. If we were at a fucking restaurant, we could talk about all this. I don't feel like dealing about this on a podcast. Sorry.
I bring stuff up to you outside
Let's
of
talk
podcasts.
about
You
your
have this-
fucking paychecks. Let's talk about
It's
how
very
you do for a
understandable.
living.
It's very understandable, Brian. But do you understand that you get into this like really angry defensive position with people that aren't even attacking you?
They were attacking him.
Not all the prophets. I'm saying you just
That's
completely
fine and dandy,
reasonable.
but why are we talking about this on a podcast? That's what I'm
I don't
talking
know,
about.
man,
We
'cause
should
it
be
came- it
talking about
came up.
fucking farts in Olive Garden.
We don't have to talk about only farts and Olive Garden, Brian. There's nothing wrong with this. Is a good conversation for all of us.
That's true.
It's a good conversation for me to understand that sometimes you don't feel like you're getting enough credit for all the work you're doing for all those guys that are on your network.
Oof.
What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
I think Joe probably saw he got himself to a position where he was angry.
Who does that gets to choose who's on it? Because you said some you
How
might
about
think
me? How about I'll choose?
Yeah, but why?
How about I
why,
choose?
Why are you,
Why
why are you
shouldn't I?
considered Death Squad?
I'll tell you this.
How about
I was
because-
gonna say,
Show
why would
with
I be considered
Brendan
Death
and
Squad?
How
Tom
about because
Segura.
I'm going to treat it fairly? How about because I'm going to let in
Not
people that are
really,
actually tell me
because-
how I'm not.
And I'm really going deep on this, but like I've seen Joe get really angry in situations on old videos with people and get physical with people because he's not dealt with a bunch of stuff, and then that stuff is out there. And I think halfway through that conversation, he realized that he's being aggressive. And this is the thing which happens when you think you've gone a bit too far with someone, and then you go become overly reasonable. But he still doesn't want to lose his position where he is. And also, he's wound Brian up to the point where Brian's on the defensive, so Joe can just act reasonable. You know, at one point he was quite taunting him on the last one. But now he's like, "Oh, you've been so unreasonable."
belittling it,
Yeah,
like,
belittling
your
him and
little
stuff like
show,
that.
things like that. And
How many people that are in your little network?
now it's like, I really appreciate what you're doing with this thing, and
You set up a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Okay, it ain't bad. There's nothing wrong with it.
like I say, if you'd have just seen this, you'd be like,
Yeah.
he's the sort of friend you want to point you in the right direction. Why are you being so defensive? It's like, so I've got 2 dogs, as you know, and they're rescues, and one of them is quite reactive to other dogs. Not like dangerous, but it's because they're big dogs. I have to be careful when I walk them, because if another little dog runs at them, he'll give them a bark, he'll give them a lunge, and you don't want to freak out the other dog. You don't want to freak out the dog's owner because it's a big dog if you don't know them. So I have to manage that like situation. It's always in the back of my mind when I'm walking the dogs. And I looked at a lot of content of dog trainers and things about like reactivity and things like that and things you can do. And one of the things that I remember that stood out was it says what you kind of get into the habit of doing is when a situation happens, say someone runs at a dog or someone approaches you with a dog, and then my dog lunges and like barks at them, and then they walk away. You reflect on it and you think, okay, maybe I wasn't as communicative enough with the person as they were approaching. Maybe I should have like kind of been more clear about certain things as these seconds were happening. And the video that I remember, the dog trainer said, it's not just about being reflective of that incident. You've kind of got to backtrack to what happened on the build up to that incident, because maybe your dog was already in an agitated state and you didn't realize it because nothing had happened. Like maybe they were delayed getting a walk, or maybe you were walking and they heard a car exhaust pop, and maybe your dog's sensitive to sound. Maybe they saw another dog running around and it got them excited, or another dog barking, or 2 other dogs fighting across the field. Like that will do stuff to their nervous system. So that incident that you had might not really have been about that incident or that other dog. It might have been something that led up to it. And
It could have been something that happened 7 years ago.
I like how I call you guys in a real emergency 7 years ago.
Yes
Ma'am,
or no?
Can you tell me
Yes
what's going
or
on
no?
at 3
It could have been some bacon that got thrown in the trash 7 years ago.
Yeah.
This is like the prime example of, if you'd just seen that interaction, you'd come away thinking that Brian is completely unreasonable. But his emotional system it's been primed from the 30 minutes before that when they were arguing
Is that how
about
long
the
it was
death
going on
squad.
for?
Something like that, yeah. So the second part of
Whoa.
this podcast, which is where these snippets, when they've calmed down a bit, or Joe and Ari have calmed down, is about 15, 16 minutes long. And it's probably another 20 minutes at the end of part one where they're talking about the death squad name, they're talking about Brian's attitude towards being on every podcast, and then it moves into this, there's a rumor out there that you don't pay comics. So Brian has been he's been poked too much. His nervous system is jacked, and now he's unreasonable, and it looks bad.
Yeah, I feel bad for Brian on this. The good thing is the whole video is out there with context, and that's one of the great things about podcasting, which changed the landscape, is that you can always go and find the context. Whether people do or not is a different thing, but at least the context is there. Unlike, if you're making a good TV show, which is some of the stuff we're going to cover, then you'd leave all that context out. Shows like Big Brother, you leave all the context out, because why would you do it? You're making a show and it's about entertainment. And that's like some of the best confrontations are on there.
In fairness to Joe as well, I don't think a lot of this is I know I've kind of been hammering Joe's behavior on the way he's been treating Brian in these last 2 episodes, but I think genuinely his heart is in the right place. Once he's calmed down, he is trying to help. There's a load of stuff that I cut up where he's trying to, let's get you an assistant, let's sit down together and work out the finances. I mean, Brian says multiple times, I don't want to do this on a podcast, and they kind of just ignore his, Brian kind of knows that he's reached his limit, and they kind of just push straight past that. But I do think he's genuinely trying to help, and he was offering a load of practical stuff. But yeah, it's just bad situation to be on the receiving end of, I think.
But if the person, he's not he's saying, I don't want to talk about it. He's saying, I don't want to talk about this publicly.
Yeah.
It's that you're adding the online mob of people. So it's again, for a confrontation, most people aren't confrontational. And everything changes when you add an audience, and an internet audience, which was growing at the time. You just be like, I don't want to have this conversation. I totally get it. Joe should have gone, okay, we'll have this conversation offline. The problem is, once you get into this type of thing, it's interesting. And what are you going to talk about next? You have to basically end the podcast or be very good at moving on. Ari's not going to move on because he's that type of person as well. He's and this was early podcasting.
Ari loves it.
He does love it.
He loves being here for this. Look at his face right now. He loves it.
He doesn't get wound up. He gets recreationally wound up, but he doesn't actually really get angry. I really love Ari. I'm just going to quickly show you this. You know how I love the whole tipping community. This is going to be a regular feature on this show. Here's a video of a server. Now, I'm just going to give you, all I've got is a very short clip of a server annoyed that she didn't get tipped. And this is what one of the comments said. This is what the synopsis of the video was, because it's a Facebook reel. Customers say the server lost it when they paid their $120 bill and walked out without leaving a tip. She followed them outside yelling, quote, "You don't walk out on service like that," end quote, and reportedly threw a handful of napkins at their car. Management tried to calm her down. Calm down, mate. But she kept shouting that she, quote, worked too hard to get played like that. Police were called after the argument spilled into the parking lot. Officers arrived to find her pacing around and screaming about being, quote, disrespected, while the customer filmed the entire meltdown for Facebook. No arrests are made, but the restaurant says she's, quote, no longer on the schedule. This is a very short video, but here's that happening.
Sat there 2 hours, ordered half the menu, and you walk out leaving nothing? Not a dime?
Ma'am. No, don't ma'am.
I busted my ass for you all night. You think we're paid for free refills? There's a line on the receipt for...
That's all I've got. I couldn't find anything else. Here's what part of the problem. I'm not sure if that's real. That kind of looks like AI, doesn't it?
That was my, the camera angle, the fisheye on it. But yeah, my go-to was just, I don't know if it is AI.
Yeah.
There's
I don't know
nothing
either.
Too obvious, but there's something about it that smells a bit AI. The fact
It
that it's
does
short as
smell a
well
bit
might
AI.
mean that it's AI.
Do you know what really did it for me? It's the fact that she's dead center and he's holding it pretty steady. And then the guy in the background, his response seems like an AI background response. Look, listen to the guy in the background.
Sat there 2 hours, ordered half the menu, and you walk out leaving nothing? Not a dime?
Ma'am. No, don't ma'am.
I busted my ass for you all night. You think we're paid for free refills? There's a line on the receipt for...
All right, let's keep the voices down. Everyone in the background is doing very AI NPC stuff because the other two people are just standing there. It seems AI to me. I wanted to show it. If anyone has any more information on it, please send it in.
one.
I mean, it fits what I like, which is servers freaking out about not getting tipped. I
This
like
is a
that
reality
kind
I
of
can get
conversation.
behind.
So
I mean, I suppose it makes sense.
of these.
He looks like he's on a bike or something, doesn't he? I mean, it might make sense that it's a GoPro, and that's why it's a fisheye.
Yeah.
It's not a phone. But you're right. It's the background characters which are the main thing. They do look. The guy folding his arms looks very NPC.
It doesn't look real, does it? All right. Well, we'll come back to that one. If we can find any more information about that one, we'll come back.
You're gonna like this. So
And
this is another
I can see
interaction
there's several
with
assets. A to
there is
G.
several
Blimey.
assets. This is a traffic stop, an American traffic stop. This is, I mean, this guy might be my new hero. Like, this is the new gold standard of like how to deal with the police, and it's as it will unfold. It's because he's ex-police. He knows exactly what he's doing. So
It's not just because he knows they work for him and he pays their salary.
You work for us, sir.
And he called them 7 years ago.
But he's got some more stuff in the background. So we'll just start with the initial getting pulled over.
Now we get to meet one another.
Now
How are you doing? What's going on with you following? Are you an investigator of some sort?
Can I ask why you pulled me over, sir?
I pulled you over because the young ladies came over there and said you've been following her since she left the airport yesterday. So I want to know who you are.
Have I committed a crime?
No, but I'm conducting an investigation. Have you been following that young lady? I mean, if you're an investigator, investigate what? But if you're somebody harassing her or stalking her, that's against the law. Me pulling you over to find out who you are is me doing my job.
You mind getting that light out of my eyes?
Sir, it's nighttime. I don't know you from Adam's house cat. I don't know if you have weapons in here.
You see both my hands right here.
Well, I don't know if you have weapons in here, man. So I'm going to keep my flashlight right here where it is. I don't have it in your face. That will be in your face. I have it down. I'm trying to show you that respect. I'm illuminating the vehicle for my safety. Now, would you agree that I've answered every question you've asked me? And all I asked you was one simple question.
Oh, he's just not going to say anything.
Am I free to go?
No, you are not.
Yes.
Not until I find out who you are.
Great question.
I'm conducting an investigation.
He's been watching auditors,
Am I being detained? Yeah, you are being detained. Whoa, which section?
or auditors have been watching it. Am I free to go? That's
Well,
all
this-
I'm asking.
This video is from this traffic stop was 2015, so I don't know if auditors were even a thing back then.
Oh shit!
But-
I've only just noticed this camera's the guy who's been pulled over's camera in his car.
Yep.
So he's ready for this because it's very well mounted. It's not just a phone that he's put down, and it's got full view of the dash. It's got full view of everything that's going on up to basically the bottom of the steering wheel. So it's really well placed, and it also looks like a night vision camera as well. So yeah, it is night vision because the light is green. So I've only just realized this guy is prepared in more ways than one.
I don't have the full background of this, but I think the police officer was correct in I think what's happened is he was following the woman, but he's a private investigator. Because also as well, I think a lot of ex-police officers go into private investigation after they retire because they've got a good skill set for that. He is following her, but he knows exactly where all his rights are, and he also knows, even as a police officer, not to talk to the police. To resist that sort of social pressure of a police officer at your window, asking you questions and talking to you, and to just keep your hands on the dash and just stare straight ahead and just be comfortable in that silence.
I'd love to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's like unbelievable, like unbelievable amount of control. The police officer as well is making mistakes because he's being cooperative. He's not doing anything out of the ordinary, but he's refusing to answer questions. He's refusing to engage. And the police officer seems a bit jokey, a bit of a wise guy. You know, I don't know you from Adam's house. I don't know if there's weapons in the car. The police officer's about to make some big mistakes because he's talking. He's answering the driver's questions.
You best be very careful.
I should be very careful.
You have your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance on you?
Have you pulled me for a traffic violation, sir?
No, sir, I've already explained that to you. Now, you can play the back and forth rigmarole all you want to. I've explained to you why I pulled you over.
Okay, and you didn't have QC. I'm not suspected of committing a
The
crime.
problem is that you've been following this young lady, and she...
Do you know that, sir? Did you see that? Did you see that, deputy?
You came back by. Why'd you come back by?
I don't have to answer questions.
Okay, you don't have to answer questions. Okay? You do have to identify yourself.
Sir, if you suspect me of committing a crime or about to commit a crime, I have to identify myself. You have no probable cause to pull me for a traffic violation. I asked you why you pulled me.
Because the young lady said that you've been following her since yesterday.
So you believe everything everyone says to you?
By the way, in a situation like this, it would be the wrong thing to do. But when he says the young lady said you've been following her, I'd be saying, no, she was following me. Go get her information. I wouldn't actually do this, but just to demonstrate that just because someone says something doesn't mean that it happened. You want something and you're using any excuse to get it.
I'm conducting an investigation.
Okay. Will you conduct right away, sir? At this point in time, I elect to not say anything. I elect to speak say anything without having my attorney present.
Perfect.
God, what a
Right,
nightmare.
absolutely perfect. But I don't know if the laws are different in the UK, but in America, so you see a lot of auditing videos where they won't give identification. You don't have to give ID in the UK if you're approached by a police officer, unless you're under arrest, in which case you are obliged to. And I think you can, like, extra charges will be added if you refuse to identify under arrest. In America, if a traffic officer or a policeman pulls you over for a car violation, if you were swerving, if you're suspected of drunk driving, if you're suspected of doing something, a crime in the vehicle, you have to provide your ID. It is the law. The police officer just made a massive error because he asked him, do you suspect me of committing a crime, or was there anything, I can't remember the exact term, but anything to do with my vehicle? The police officer says no.
Have I committed a crime?
No, but I'm conducting an investigation. Have you been following that young lady?
I'm pulling you over because of this harassment thing.
Right.
So now he doesn't have to identify. The police officer, by being smart, and actually the police officer, by giving him the information, has given him everything he needs to control the entire rest of this conversation. And in fairness to this police officer, he taps early. Right, watch this next bit.
If he taps early, there's 7 videos.
I don't answer questions, deputy.
You don't answer questions. You just stalk young lady. Well, just stand by them.
Your name and badge number, deputy?
I love the way he walks back away. Oh, God.
In fairness to him, he knows. He comes. He's about to do something or say something. He just hears from the other side of the car. You must get the feeling that I'm losing. And then suddenly, your name and badge number, and he's just like, just walks away. Just like, walks away.
He's like the guy the other week, on the phone with the auditor, and he comes up on his phone. He's like, would you be able to tell me why you're here? No, he's like, no. He just walks off again.
So would you like to tell me what you're doing here?
I don't need to explain nothing to you. You need to learn your job, pal.
You made a big fucking mistake here, officer.
So this guy, that officer is just like, I'm out, I'm done. But there are more officers to come and try and, different tactics of this guy.
Your name and badge number, deputy? Am I free to go, deputy? Am I free to go?
No, sir, not yet.
What am I being detained for, sir?
What section?
Which section? Wait, which section?
Why I'm being detained?
No, we want to, someone saying that you're claiming your stock of them. What is that? Are you an investigator, right?
Okay, let me make this clear, sir. I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm not giving you gentlemen a hard time.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So I'm going to roll this window up, okay?
Okay.
That was
He's just looking. The other cop's looking through the car.
So he's got some windows open, and the original guy, he, in all fairness to him, he knows this is a waste of time. He's gone. But now there's other cops trying to follow this up. So he's engaging with the guy at the window. Another guy is in his car. I'm so impressed that he just calmly turned around and just says, I'm just going to wind that window up. Okay. He lets him know and then just winds it up. Considering the situation that you're in, I wouldn't even dream of doing that. I'd probably my brain would be spinning. Even if I wanted to conduct myself in the same way and not give information, I wouldn't have the calmness of mind to be like, you're not going to get any information either. I don't want you snooping around and then to say, oh, what's this? I think it looks like this. I'm going to give, like, he's shutting down potential avenues of
them being able to
car.
justify their harassment.
There's a suspicious object I can see there in the dark. Get out of the car. Just shuts it all down very calmly.
That's the high level jiu-jitsu going on there. That's crazy. He's calm.
Yeah, multiple people as well. He's fighting multiple people.
Yeah.
I'd like to know. Let me speak for a moment, sir. No disrespect. I would like for you to articulate what crime you suspect me of committing, or what crime you suspect me of about to commit.
No, we just have a reasonable suspicion to figure out what's going on here.
No, sir. So you don't get to detain me to figure out if I've committed a crime, sir. The law and the statute states, in order for you to detain me, you must have reasonable, articulable suspicion that either I have committed.
Yeah, we have probable cause.
What is your probable cause?
We got a complaint that we got that the red.
That's not probable cause, sir.
These subtitles are awful, by the way. Whoever did these should be ashamed of themselves.
I did them.
You suspect me of committing
No, you
fraud.
didn't.
Were you anywhere near this area?
You'd never
I
make
don't
these
answer
mistakes.
questions.
Do you know who she is?
I do not answer
But she
questions.
has no idea.
If you're going to articulate,
just because
you've missed a bunch of words.
I know, yeah, because I was like,
you actually
rushing.
did these.
Yeah, I was like rushing because there was like 3 people and it's mumbling. And like, I'm not going to spend time going through the entire
Why not? We've got a show. We're doing a show.
I know, but it's just quick. I needed to get this in.
if you're going to articulate that you suspect me of committing a crime and have reasonable suspicion of that.
If you don't agree with it, if you don't agree with not probable cause.
Your name and badge number, sir?
Sir, what's your name?
Your name and badge number, sir?
Well, you gonna remember?
How about all you're being recorded? I've got 4 cameras in this truck. You're required by policy to issue your name and badge number. I'm going to ask you what. I'm speaking to this gentleman right now. I'll get your name and badge number in a minute. Your name and badge number.
0051.
What's your name?
I just told you.
I didn't hear it because I'm sitting here speaking to this
recording
gentleman.
it so you can pick up.
Oh God!
Right. At this point,
Legend.
this
He's
next
great.
video, there's now five cops around the car. Like the original one's gone. Fair play to him. He knew. Right.
Yeah.
These guys are trying different things.
It's a hard position for those cops to be in because what you're going to do is
Extremely
back
hard.
off.
Extremely hard. You must get a sense. They must know. Like, I think even if I was like a rookie cop, just by the confidence in which he's talking and the words that he's using, I'm like, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's also he's asking for very precise things, and the cop wants to respond very generally because they can't give him precise answers because they know and he knows that the precise answers means that he hasn't done anything and he's free to go. So whenever he's just like, I need an articulable position from you. Like, I need a clear, articulate reason why you're doing this. And they want to say, well, we just got to, like, they immediately want to go into generalizations.
Anything but, yeah.
Yeah, they just want conversation, because if they get them to talk in a conversation, maybe he'll give them something specific that they can then charge him for.
Is that the case in the UK? You could do the same thing in the UK?
In terms of what? In terms of the traffic stop?
In terms of like just conversing with police, be like, sorry, I don't talk to police. Can you tell me what I'm being detained for? Sorry, I just don't. No, it's just a principle. I don't talk to police. No, I don't ever talk to police. What am I being detained for? Have I committed a crime? Am I free to go? Am I not free to go? Okay, can I have my lawyer then? What's your name? What's your badge? Can you tell me what crime? If you just keep doing that kind of thing, and so I'm not going to tell you anything about what I'm doing. I don't have to tell you anything about what I'm doing.
I want really specific
it's nothing about
things.
You. It's nothing about me. It's not about today. It's just I have a general policy. I do not speak to police. Why are you detaining me? Am I being detained? I'm filming this entire interaction. You must be a nightmare. It must be. This is being live streamed, so even if you confiscate the phone, the video's out there. Just like, oh God.
So the next video, at this point, there's the maximum amount of police officers, is like 5, and we've got a new guy who's like, I'm just going to be his friend. He's not responding to pressure, so I'm going to try and placate him. And he responds to that. He's like, oh, I appreciate you being nice to me. He's still not going to give him anything.
That gambit's not going to work.
That annoys him.
Yes, this is great.
Bring up a civil lawsuit against you in the city for this illegal detainment.
Sir, we're not trying to upset you.
I'm not
We
upset.
had a radio call. Let me give you.
Go right ahead, sir.
We got a radio call. That we just like to know, so we can, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Would that be
My
okay?
name is Mike, sir. You can address me as Mike.
Okay, that's fine, Mike. That's a great beginning.
All right.
But just
and the
gentlemen
reason why is
together.
because, like I said, your comment that we were given
I respect
doesn't
that.
mean
I
you're
respect
guilty.
that. I respect that. You're talking to an ex-law enforcement officer, buddy.
All right, we're not saying you're guilty of anything. We didn't say that.
Then you are illegally detaining me. I asked the last deputy that left what was his reasoning for stopping me. He didn't stop me for trafficking. Let me calm down. I shouldn't be yelling at you.
Thank you.
I shouldn't be doing
and
that.
I'm not yelling at you.
This
right?
deputy that stopped me, sir, did not articulate he would stop me for a traffic violation. Then I asked him what his probable cause was, or what crime he suspected me of committing, or what reasonable crime, or reasonable suspicion.
The case is, as I stated, is that we had a description of a vehicle. Your vehicle matched that, and we're just here to determine, no, you're not the one, or yes, you are the one. Very
But see, the
simple.
law protects me. I don't have to answer questions.
Yes, sir. But we're asking for your cooperation. And can we get that cooperation?
I'm cooperating. The fact that I extend my rights doesn't mean I'm not cooperating, sir. Would you agree with that, sir?
But I don't understand it. If you said you're an ex-law enforcement officer, and you understand that when somebody calls us and says, "No, we're not."
Let me finish speaking, okay?
Yes, please do.
They twist people's words. Any attorney, and all you three gentlemen will know, you don't ever speak to the cops.
I want to hear what he has to say.
You don't ever talk to cops. Never. You never talk to cops unless you're legally obligated to. Nothing good can come from that. I'm very well of my rights, very well aware of my rights. Now, I understand you're doing no fault with that. You are doing your job.
Okay.
And the mere fact that I'm exercising my legal rights does not make me uncooperative.
Oh, they won't like that.
Like, super articulate, yeah. Super articulate. So the guy who was just like, we're gentlemen. We're just friends. We're just having a chat. And then he points out that it's just like, the guy who stopped me, the original guy, is no longer here. So not only did he not pull me over for a traffic violation, which is the only way you can get my ID, he's not even here to articulate why he stopped me over in the first place. You're all here second hand.
Checkmate, that is.
This next bit here is like a tutorial. So what he just said is correct. Like, I think the best position is to not, you can only get yourself in trouble by talking to the police, even if it's socially difficult to not be civil, or you feel like you're being, and they're applying some pressure to say, just cooperate with us. If you've got nothing to hide, nothing good can come of it. He is one level
Which is
above
crazy.
that.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
They work for us.
Normally, they do work for us.
You work for us, sir.
I pay their wages. I called them 7 years ago.
But I like how I call you guys in a real emergency 7 years ago.
Yes or no?
Can you tell me
Yes
what's going
or
on
no?
at 3-8?
He has got the ability to go one level above that. In not only does he know to keep his mouth shut, he's not doing that. He's actually talking to them, but he's educating him. He's educating them and the public as to the precise reasons why. And he's under a lot of pressure. There's 5 police people around him, and he's about to give everyone a lesson. Just listen to how articulate his rationale for this is.
I'm aware of my rights. You do not have, you have the right to ask me whatever question you want.
You're really enjoying this.
I'm not enjoying anything. You know what I am enjoying? How you officers fail to realize that those badges and those guns don't give you the right to violate other people's rights. So you are. I've articulated to you that you are illegally detaining me. And because you choose to abuse your authority and not recognize that what I'm saying is a fact, you are illegally violating my rights.
To question you, to find out if you are the one or not the one that was violating this other woman's rights.
But I've made it clear, sir, I'm not going to answer questions. I've made it clear. You don't get to. Yes, sir. The fact that I'm exercising my rights does not mean I'm not cooperating, sir.
Yes, it does.
It does not. It absolutely does not. Now, if I was doing something against the law or resisting you in some manner...
We can't determine that.
But you don't get to question me so I can give you information so you can make a case or not a case. I'm not saying I am this person, I'm not saying I am not this person. But what you fail to realize is, I do not have to speak to you, sir. And that does not give you the right to detain me until you get some information to charge me with the crime. You don't get to search and search until I say something, or you twist something I say and use it against me.
This is amazing.
You gentlemen have a dangerous job. There is 19 unsolved murders in this city.
It's like he scripted
Okay?
it. It's like he's
You've
reading
got
from. He
much
couldn't have
better
worded
things
it any
to
more
do
perfectly.
With me. Okay? I'm not a threat to anyone. What? Sir, there's 5 cops here. The gentleman that pulled me, and if he had any reasonable articulate suspicion, is no longer here. I'm assuming, I don't know where he is or where he's going. You 3 gentlemen have no first-hand information. No first-hand information.
No
He
first-hand
realized it was a
information.
good argument. As he said it, he was like, "Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm going to reiterate that."
He should have leant out the
with-
window and tapped that guy's glasses. Like, no first-hand information.
No first-hand. No, be very.
I should be very careful.
I love that he repeated that. Let's just see that bit at the end because he said a bit that he liked, and then he's like, "I'm going to reiterate that."
What? Sir, there's 5 cops here. The gentleman that pulled me, and if he had any reasonable articulate suspicion, is no longer here. I'm assuming, I don't know where he is or where he's
That's
going.
amazing.
You 3 gentlemen have no first-hand information. No first-hand information.
Oh, he says it 3 times. Amazing. What a masterclass. All right, let's see where it goes.
This is just the final sign-off after they've been schooled.
Okay, sir, back to my original question
Yes,
when
sir.
I first got here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you following somebody?
I don't answer your question, sir.
Okay.
Am I free to go?
Yes, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Are you following somebody? He doesn't say yes or no. He's like, I don't want to answer your questions. Wow,
It's
I
okay,
didn't
it's like,
realize that you could do
am
that.
I free to go? Yes.
It's amazing because he's obviously the best at that situation and knowing his rights and knowing how to exercise them. But I wonder if he ran into a really angry cop, how that clash would be. We're probably going to see this guy, and then we'll see another cop and we'll go, wow, imagine they met in one of these situations. How would it end?
Yeah.
Because I can see somebody with a temper pulling the gun out. I've seen people pull guns out, but like, get out of the car. And be like, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing? I'd love to see, I wouldn't love to see it, but it'd be interesting to see that interaction. That was amazing. That guy's quality.
Yeah. Absolute masterclass.
That's how you do it. That's how you deal with it. I've seen a bunch of videos where, because there's loads of stuff happening in the UK about people turning up at people's houses to talk to them about social media posts, which is what we're going to get into some of this stuff. But then, and they're always like, when I'm watching it, the police are in their house. I'm like, how are you in? I would not talk to the police through anything other than like the letterbox or the Ring cameras. Like, I'm not opening the door. And that's literally what Americans do. The cops there, they haven't opened the door. They talk to them through the Ring camera. Like, we're here to talk to you about something. It's like, I'm not opening the door. No, you need to tell me why you want me to open the door. And then the cop eventually just like gives up because what they can do, break the door down for something somebody said. One guy ended up chewing this cop out, like, going, you can't turn up at people's houses for stuff they've said on the internet. Are you crazy? It was amazing. Whereas in England, they'd literally, I've seen them knock people's doors down for that stuff. So it's amazing how the stuff you can do in America. Americans seem to be way more aware of their rights than British people are. That guy, amazing. Nice. He's auditing the police in a completely different way.
Yeah. I mean, he's been pulled over by, like, auditors are deliberately antagonistic, whereas this guy has got pulled over naturally through, and my guess is that he was following that woman because he's a private detective and he's tailing her. And maybe, I mean, I don't fully know what the laws are. The first detective said to him, if you're an investigator, investigate away. I just need to know that you're not a stalker. Maybe if he just said, yeah, I am an investigator. Here's my ID. Here's my credentials. That might have been the end of it. But he knows that, well, it might have been the end of it, but I know for a fact that I'm well within my rights just to not answer questions, and they're going to have to let me go. Because I've already got him to concede that he didn't pull me for a traffic violation. Because that's another thing that I've seen in some of these traffic stop videos where the first thing the police officer will do will say, oh, you seem to be driving a bit erratically. And the person in the car, maybe rightly or wrongly, will be like, I wasn't driving erratically. But the fact that it's now said on camera, that then gives them the next, they are now legally obliged to tell the police officer
what do you mean? The fact that what's said on camera?
So if he got stopped, one of the things that he clarified was, have you stopped me for a traffic violation? Have you noticed any behavior? Have I got a tail light out? If you got stopped for a traffic violation, the police officer is legally entitled to your ID in the States. And because the first officer made the mistake of saying, no, it wasn't for traffic, it was because of the stalking, he's just like, oh, well, you've got nothing.
Okay, so in the other instance, just with the cop saying I noticed you were driving erratically, that's enough for them to then ask for your ID, right?
Yeah.
I see.
And I think some of the people who are like kind of caught in these traffic violations and some of the commentary is this is an excuse used by some police officers because they'll lead with you're doing something. I pulled you over for something to do with the traffic. And that then gives them a right for ID. They can get them to step out the car if they want. And then they can maybe ask about other stuff that they want to ask them about. If that first person would have came over and if by chance his tail light had been broken, this would have had to play out differently. He would have had to start giving him some information that he didn't want to give.
Yeah. I'd be interested to see this kind of thing happening in the UK because it's, you start to look at this stuff and you go, oh, could I use this here? And then we can imagine trying this in the UK and being like, have you been watching like a US poll?
Yeah.
This isn't the law here.
Mhm.
We have a king. On the authority of the king, step out of the car now.
Drop your weapons in the name of the king.
Got a truncheon in your face. All right, Craig, that one was awesome. I think he's top of the list now of how to deal with police. The Angry Scott auditor is second.
Number, station, 3 points identification as per Metropolitan Police policy.
But that's a list of two people. Certainly at the very bottom of the list, though, is yes or no. Answer my question. Do you work for me?
Ma'am, if you're going to continue to yell, I'm going to disconnect the call.
Do I pay?
I mean,
like,
in fairness, though, she didn't get arrested. She gets some
get
points
arrested.
for that.
No, she did well. She didn't let him in the house. She knew that she wasn't allowed to let him in the house. But
Considering she can't control herself, she did get out of that situation quite well. She didn't even have to give her ID.
All right, man.
Maybe she's
all right.
the top.
There's counseling available. It exists in the world.
And I'm in it. Thanks. Bye.
She might.
They
She
didn't
could be the
They
top.
didn't even ask her for ID.
Yeah. I mean, they're all annoyed at the police in their own way. All three guys that we've dealt with, the Scott, the paying the wages chick, and then this guy, they're all like annoyed that they're dealing with the police, but she really got to yell at them. So yeah, maybe she is at the top. All right, guys, like, subscribe, and all that, and we'll see you next time.